Imagine an industry where billions of pesos are invested yearly, yet customer loyalty can disappear with just one SIM card switch. Today, we analyze one of the most aggressive challengers in the Philippine telecom industry, the Dito telecommunity. To briefly recap, the Philippine telecommunications industry is currently dominated by two major incumbents, Globe Telecom and PLDT Smart. These companies established strong market control through extensive infrastructure, nationwide coverage, strong brand loyalty, and enterprise partnerships. However, Dito entered the market as a third major telecommunications provider with a strategy focused on affordable data services, advanced 5G standalone technology, and aggressive expansion. In just 4 years, Dito achieved over 15 million subscribers, proving that disruption is possible even in a highly capital-intensive industry. Despite this growth, Dito still faces critical challenges including financial pressure, infrastructure expansion costs, and intense competition from established rivals. This now leads us to our external analysis. Using Porter's 5 Forces framework, we analyze the external competitive environment of the telecom industry. First is the threat of new entrants. The threat is relatively low because the telecom industry requires massive capital investments exceeding 100 billion pesos for infrastructure such as towers, fiber networks, and spectrum acquisition. Additionally, strict compliance requirements from the National Telecommunications Commission create high regulatory barriers. Finally, the dominance of Globe and PLDT discourages new competitors from entering the market. Second is the bargaining power of suppliers. Supplier power is high because telecom companies depend heavily on limited foreign vendors such as Huawei, ZTE, and Nokia for advanced 5G equipment. Dito also relies in tower leasing and subsea cable providers, increasing operational costs and vulnerability to outages and supply risks. Third is the bargaining power of buyers. Buyers possess strong bargaining power due to high price sensitivity among Filipino consumers. Customers can easily switch networks using dual SIM smartphones and mobile portability. Consumers now also expect high-speed internet and reliable connectivity as standard services, increasing pressure on telecom providers. Fourth is the threat of substitutes. This threat is increasing due to alternatives such as fiber broadband, public Wi-Fi ecosystems, and satellite internet services like Starlink. These technologies reduce dependence on traditional mobile data services, particularly in rural and underserved areas. Lastly, industry rivalry is extremely intense. Competition among Dito, Globe, Smart, TNT, TM, and Como continues through aggressive pricing wars, promotional offers, and rapid network expansion. Meanwhile, Globe and PLDT maintain strong brand loyalty and wider infrastructure coverage, placing Dito under continuous competitive pressure. Overall, the Philippine telecom industry remains highly competitive, capital-intensive, and innovation-driven. To better understand Dito's competitive position, we analyzed its two primary rivals, Globe and PLDT. Starting with Globe Telecom, the company maintains stable revenues due to its massive prepaid subscriber base and diversified digital ecosystem through platforms such as GCash and 917 Ventures. Globe also benefits from strong nationwide retail distribution, strong brand equity, and international support from Singtel. Strategically, Globe is transitioning from a traditional telecom provider into a broader digital solutions platform while also adapting satellite-to-cell technology through Starlink for remote coverage expansion. However, Globe faces challenges including urban network congestion, slower expansion in remote areas, and increasing dependence on GCash-related revenues which may be affected by regulations on online gambling and digital finance. Moving on to PLDT, the company remains the market leader with approximately 44% market share and industry-leading revenues. PLDT possesses the Philippines' most extensive fiber backbone and data center infrastructure supported by massive capital expenditures and strong technical expertise. Its strategy focuses heavily on reliability, speed, and segmented branding through Smart, TNT, and PLDT Home. PLDT also partnered with Link and AST Space Mobile for satellite-to-device connectivity services. Despite these strengths, PLDT faces high debt levels due to aggressive infrastructure expansion, higher maintenance costs from legacy systems, and slower organizational innovation caused by bureaucratic structures. Compared to both incumbents, DITO differentiates itself through its modern 5G standalone architecture, superior 140 MHz spectrum holdings, and recognition as the fastest mobile network in the Philippines for 2025 to 2026. However, DITO still lags behind in nationwide coverage, retail presence, enterprise market penetration, and long-term financial stability. Our analysis identified 6 future key success factors that will determine competitiveness in the telecom industry. First is efficient capital management and financial sustainability. Because the telecom industry requires billions of pesos in infrastructure investments, companies must effectively control debt, manage capital expenditures, and maintain strong cash flows to remain profitable. Second is network quality, coverage, and reliability. As digital connectivity becomes essential nationwide, consumers increasingly prioritize fast, stable, and reliable internet services, making network performance the industry's most important competitive factor. Third is cost efficiency and operational excellence. Despite increasing mobile data usage, average revenue per user or ARPU remains relatively stagnant, meaning telecom companies must optimize operations and reduce infrastructure costs to maintain profitability. Fourth is technological innovation and infrastructure investment. Emerging technologies such as 5G standalone networks, AI-driven operations, satellite-to-cell systems, and future 6G connectivity will shape long-term industry leadership. Fifth is strong cybersecurity and data protection. As telecom companies handle increasing volumes of digital transactions and enterprise data, investment in cybersecurity systems and zero-trust frameworks becomes critical. Lastly, strong marketing promotion remains essential. In a highly competitive and price-sensitive market, effective promotions, bundled offers, and brand positioning heavily influence subscriber acquisition and retention. These success factors collectively define the future competitive landscape of the Philippine telecom industry. Our SWOT analysis identified the key strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats affecting DITO's competitiveness in the Philippine telecom industry. Starting with strengths, DITO benefits from its advanced greenfield all-IP 5G standalone architecture free from legacy infrastructure limitations. It was also recognized by OpenSignal and Ookla as one of the fastest mobile networks in the Philippines from 2025 to 2026, winning 14 out of 16 OpenSignal categories. DITO holds stronger 5G spectrum assets at 140 MHz compared to Globe and PLDT's 60 MHz, supporting greater long-term network capacity. The company also achieved rapid growth, reaching around 15.2 million subscribers within 4 years. Another strength is its partnership with China Telecom, which provides technical and engineering support. DITO also uses AI-driven systems like the Kai chatbot, resolving about 97 to 98% of customer concerns, while expanding digital platforms such as the DITO app, Luna Academy, and Unalytics. However, DITO faces major weaknesses. The company continues to experience financial pressure, including over 95 billion pesos in capital deficiency and more than 192 billion pesos in loans. Its low current ratio of 0.07 also raises liquidity concerns. Coverage expansion remains concentrated in major cities like NCR, Cebu, and Davao, while rural areas remain underserved. ARPU has also declined from 119 pesos to 100 pesos, while investor confidence remains cautious. In addition, DITO still depends heavily on foreign technology providers for core R&D. In terms of opportunities, the Konektadong Pinoy Act may accelerate infrastructure expansion while the fixed wireless broadband market still has strong growth potential. Industry-wide 5G adoption is also expected to rise significantly by 2030, alongside continued growth in the Philippine telecom and data center industries. DITO can also expand into high-margin B2B analytics and educational technology services through platforms like Unalytics and Luna Academy. Despite these opportunities, DITO faces strong competition from Globe and PLDT through aggressive pricing and flanker brands like Gomo and TNT. Emerging satellite technologies such as Globe Starlink and SmartLink Direct-to-Cell also threaten traditional telecom services. The company also faces geopolitical and regulatory risks linked to its China Telecom partnership, as well as increasing cybersecurity and compliance requirements. Overall, our SWOT analysis shows that DITO possesses strong technological and growth potential, but long-term success will ultimately depend on improving financial sustainability, expanding coverage, and responding effectively to competitive and regulatory pressures.
To evaluate DITO's market competitiveness, we conducted a competitive strength assessment against Globe and PLDT Smart. The analysis focused on 6 key success factors: financial sustainability, network quality, operational efficiency, technological innovation and infrastructure investment, cybersecurity, and marketing strength. Among the 3 companies, Globe achieved the highest weighted score at 8.05, followed by PLDT Smart at 7.10, while DITO scored 5.15. DITO performed strongly in technological innovation and infrastructure investment due to its leapfrogging towards advanced 5G standalone infrastructure and network speed leadership. However, it scored significantly lower in financial sustainability because of heavy debt obligations and continuing losses. The assessment also revealed that network quality and coverage remain the most important success factors in the telecom industry due to customer expectations and low switching costs. This means that while DITO has strong technical capabilities, sustainable competitive advantage will depend on improving coverage, operational efficiency, and profitability. To determine DITO's strategic position, our team applied the SPACE or Strategic Position and Action Evaluation Matrix. This measured 4 major dimensions: financial strength, competitive advantage, industry strength, and environmental stability. For financial strength, DITO recorded an average score of 1.6. This was supported by strong revenue growth with a 95.46 CAGR from 2021 to 2024, improving operating cash flow, and positive adjusted EBITDA of 1.57 billion pesos during the first 9 months of 2025. However, these were offset by persistent net losses equal to 192.51 billion in interest-bearing debt and a weak current ratio of only 0.07. For competitive advantage, DITO scored a positive 1.0. The company demonstrated strong technical capabilities, including leadership in mobile network speed with an average of 39.8 megabits per second and recognition as the fastest mobile network in the Philippines by OpenSignal in 2025, winning 14 out of 16 categories. DITO also benefits from superior 5G spectrum assets at 140 MHz compared to only 60 MHz for Globe and PLDT. However, these strengths are balanced by lower market share at around 16% and weaker coverage experience scores compared to competitors. Industry strength received the highest score at positive 4.0. This reflects strong long-term industry potential driven by the projected 4.86% CAGR of the Philippine Telecom market, which is expected to reach approximately $18.5 billion by 2034. In addition, 5G adoption is projected to increase from only 6% in 2023 to around 46% by 2030. The Konektadong Pinoy Act also lowers barriers for future network expansion. Meanwhile, environmental stability scored negative 0.25 due to aggressive market competition, regulatory uncertainty, geopolitical risks surrounding DITO's China Telecom partnership, and technological disruption from satellite internet and future 6G technologies. Overall, DITO's SPACE matrix coordinates of positive 5.0 and positive 1.35 places the company in the aggressive quadrant. This indicates that DITO operates in a high-growth industry with strong technological advantages that support expansion-oriented strategies. Strategically, DITO should aggressively leverage its 5G leadership, superior spectrum assets, and growing subscriber base to expand market share, improve monetization, and strengthen long-term profitability while maintaining financial discipline. Our team identified 3 strategic alternatives for DITO. First is infrastructure cost sharing through tower company partnerships. This involves co-location and sale and leaseback agreements to reduce capital expenditures, improve liquidity, and accelerate network expansion. Although Ditto leased 647 towers, valued at 6.7 billion pesos, they still currently own 4,502, valued at 26.7 billion pesos, meaning 87.4% of Ditto's standalone communication towers are still owned and not leased. Second is repositioning Ditto as the preferred secondary SIM for affordable high-speed data, targeting dual SIM and price-sensitive consumers. Third is expanding into industrial 5G deployments for manufacturing plants, ports, and smart infrastructure projects. Using weighted key success factors such as financial sustainability, network quality, operational efficiency, and innovation, Alternative 1 achieved the highest score of 4.10 compared to 3.90 and 3.70 for the other strategies. This makes infrastructure cost sharing the most viable strategy because it directly addresses Ditto's biggest weakness: high financial pressure and costly network expansion. Based on the weighted scores of the ACAs with the key success factors, ACA1, infrastructure cost sharing through tower company partnerships, received the highest total score of 4.10. By partnering with tower companies, Ditto can reduce the high costs of building and maintaining telecom infrastructure while still expanding network coverage. Thus, our recommendation is for Ditto to pursue infrastructure cost-sharing partnerships with independent tower companies aggressively. The main goal of this strategy is to reduce network capex and opex through infrastructure sharing agreements and co-location partnerships across Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Implementation focuses on 5 major actions. First, negotiate co-location agreements with major tower companies and identify over 500 potential shared sites nationwide. Second, audit Ditto-owned towers for leaseback opportunities to improve liquidity and reduce balance sheet pressure. Third, expand network coverage in underserved areas through shared site deployment while lowering cost per site operations. Fourth, establish strong service level agreements with tower partners to maintain at least 99.5% uptime and faster fault response times. Lastly, ensure full compliance with NTC regulations and technical standards. Through this strategy, Ditto aims to reduce capital expenditures by approximately 25%, remove EBITDA margins to at least 15% by 2028, and strengthen its long-term competitive position. To monitor strategy implementation, our team developed a balanced scorecard covering 4 major perspectives: financial, customer, internal operations, and learning and growth. From the financial perspective, Ditto aims to achieve profitability by reducing operating costs, lowering debt, and monetizing infrastructure. The company targets at least a 15% EBITDA margin, a debt-to-equity ratio of 1.5 times or lower, and annual revenue growth of around 8% through initiatives such as tower sharing and leaseback agreements. From the customer perspective, Ditto aims to grow beyond 20 million subscribers while improving customer satisfaction and maintaining low churn rates. Key initiatives include expanding coverage in Visayas and Mindanao, offering affordable data-focused plans, and introducing loyalty and referral programs. For internal operations, Ditto plans to improve network deployment and service reliability. The company targets over 500 new co-location sites, uptime above 99.5%, fault resolution within 4 hours, and full NTC compliance through automated monitoring systems and a 24/7 network operations center. Lastly, under learning and growth, Ditto focuses on strengthening employee capabilities and digital adoption. Targets include at least 40 training hours per employee annually, technical staff retention above 85%, and 90% digital tool adoption across teams by 2027. These balanced scorecard measures ensure that Ditto's strategy remains measurable, aligned with long-term objectives, and sustainable for future growth. With this, Ditto has already proven that disruption is possible in the Philippine telecom industry. However, survival in this market requires more than aggressive pricing and fast internet speeds. Long-term success will depend on strategic discipline, financial sustainability, infrastructure expansion, and continuous innovation. As business leaders, this analysis demonstrates how strategic management tools help organizations transform industry challenges into competitive opportunities.